Yo, what's going on, everybody? This is a Black Manga Critic here. And for today's Veterans Day, I believe today is Veterans Day. It's not today, it's tomorrow, but pretty sure it's today. Okay, I'm here to react to that Hunter greatness. All right, my voice is kind of weird. Get a little sip of this grapefruit juice. Okay, 100% juice. All right, let's get into it. Hunter time, y'all. Ooh, it's a good time. Hunter is always a good time. All right, let's do this. 388. All right, Tagashi has been putting out heat since he's been back. I feel like we've had 31, 32. We've had like a solid, like legit, like 8 chapters. I think since he's been back, like a solid 8 chapters. Like, bruh. And so far so good. So far so good. I'm not jinxing nothing. I'm not saying the H word. I'm not saying nothing. All right, because so far we've been getting that heat. Okay. His height, didn't finish the word, but it's been pretty good. That's all I'm gonna say. All right, let's do this. 387 was dope. Okay. Incredibly dope. It was ridiculous. It was like ridiculous. The connection to 383 and 385. So good. Tagashi just flexing, just like he's just going in. Okay. Tagashi flexing on him. All right. Let's do this. Let's get to this Hunter greatness. Okay. Let's see what we got. I gotta go into the November 12th issue of Shonen Jump. Food Wars is on the cover, but I'm not really invested in Food Wars at the moment. It's just in a weird place. I feel like it's probably still in a weird place. Like I just can't. All right. I'm not like, I don't know where it's going. I have no idea. All right. I have no idea. But something tells me it's not in a good place. Okay. Eventually I'll get back to it, but you know. Let's see. Read. But anyways, Hunter. All right, Hunter. Let's do this. All right. Let's see. What page you on, Hunter? Page 104. Yes, let's do this. World Trigger's back. That's a beautiful sight to see. All right, I got to get back on that eventually. I'm probably just going to read that on my own. Because it's going to be monthly soon, and it doesn't make sense to start reacting to Viz chapters if it's going to be in a different magazine. You know what I mean? That doesn't make no sense. Anyways, let's get into it. 388 is entitled Reflection, right? We watching the folks. Are you sure we should be letting them call all the shots? We have no choice. Learning Nen is our top priority. Yes. But if this state of affairs is what they're after, we're playing right into their hands. If they're executing a harmful plan, they'll attempt to manipulate you for their own purposes. But if they attempt any manipulation through Nen, we'll put a stop to it. Just like we warned them, we'll arrest Bill and Kurapika on the spot. We can tell if someone's being manipulated through careful observation. Our own jobs are on the line here. You can trust us. No, they can't. They can't trust you, especially because you working with Benjamin. The only person that can trust you was Benjamin. Really, that's about it. They can't trust you. A very overbearing entreaty. No matter. If that's what the First Prince's best men say, we'll leave it up to you. We have to leave Kurapika and Bill at large to a certain degree to find out their abilities. They're either using abilities they don't want seen in the other room, or they want us to think that while cutting off information. If Lydiolus comes out actually able to use Nen, there'll be no doubt they use some kind of ability. Okay, so we got 2 of them. These participants have too little training to force open the nodes while leaving them unharmed. It's possible he has a manipulative ability that semi-coercively opens them, but then Kurapika's aura will be mixed in. If I see multiple examples, I'll be able to tell if they're being controlled by Kurapika's aura. But Kurapika's a specialist. They know he's a specialist, but they don't know he's a conjurer. Kurapika would. Good job, Kurapika. All right. If the victim awoke to Nen as a byproduct of his ability, I could understand Kurapika's confidence in the timeline he gave. In that case, the only things we know for sure are that Kurapika is a specialist. He baited us with the allure of learning Nen, and he used his ability to make us into defensive pawns. Shrewd. Hey, that's Kurapika. That's like Kurapika in a nutshell. Shrewd, don't really trust nobody, and hell bent on revenge. All right. It's not very likely, but we can't eliminate the possibility that Bill's ability is the real deal, and this is all a distraction. Kurapika and Bill just playing with him. They just playing with him. They think they know certain things, but they really don't. They really don't. They proceed by releasing information piecemeal. You're right. You're right that we be digging our own graves by being impatient. He's a tough one. Yes, endorsed by the first prince's soldiers. Can you reaffirm the prince's orders? Yes. Okay. Oh, this is the woman who had like sort of like the most potential to unlock her Nen, to open her nodes. Right. All right. The volume of aura flow has clearly increased. That's a sign of someone who's learned Nen and is ready for the training to control it. Without prior knowledge, you'd think she'd practice the basics for at least 3 hours every day for a year. Well, I can't be certain with only one case, but I don't believe she's being controlled. Well, you did the divination, didn't you? Oh, sorry, I can't talk about it. For an impartial diagnosis and to avoid guesswork, I'm instituting a gag order on all results until everyone is through. If a violation is discovered, we'll cancel the class itself on the spot. I urge you to comply. Yeah, he's good Pika, man. He doing the thing. He doing the thing. I suppose 10 Tori, the third Prince's Royal Guard, will be the last to go. I don't know if that's a typo or not. I'm not sure. 1040. I'm not sure. They're using guards of higher ranked princes to deter intentional violations. If a violation causes a cancellation, I would also censor the culprit. Okay. Mayor, you're next. Considering your age, your learning speed is commendable. You must keep things confidential, even to Longhi, during this time. Is that all right? Even when I know it's strategy and a means to an end, flattery doesn't feel half bad. Yeah, fine. But if I feel any danger, I might withdraw. Of course. This way, please. All right, let's see. Okay. So we got a whole thing. There are these cups with like little seeds in them. So everything I will say from here is fact. You don't have to believe me. Our priority is to protect the lives of 14th Prince Wobble and 8th Queen Oito. Oito. For that, I will share Nen and its information with you. You were sincere that your goal is a stalemate through the balance of forces? Exactly. The water divination is normally used to distinguish ability type once you've learned Nen. Here, it will be used to demonstrate a successful awakening to Nen. A seed is inside the cup. Normally, it would be water and nothing else. But in this case, it's a necessary part of the process. Please continue. Like I've explained through this week, Nen can be learned by anyone. But there are individual differences in speed, and it cannot be mastered in a day. The unorthodox method is to force it through an attack using Nen. Caution is the normal response. But I swear I will not harm any of you. Good. The word attack is convenient for conveying the taboo on it. But the term also includes healing and lending abilities. I see. Bill? Okay, so Bill about to do his thing. Using Nen on the cup. So Bill's an enhancer, right? Because the glass overflowed. Bill is an enhancer. He can induce the growth of his target with his Hatsu. And the seed is growing inside the cup. Wow. So my ability will awaken if you hold your hand over me like that? No, it's not as effective on untrained people, and it won't be fast enough to keep our timetable. I'm going to borrow Bill's ability, then lend it to you. Technically, this is an indirect attack, but it's a lone type specialist move, and the ability itself is not aggressive in nature. But it has the side effect of semi-coercively awakening Nen in someone without abilities. If you remain unconvinced, I won't do it. You will open the door and tell them you declined. I'd like you to keep what we talked about confidential, but I know I can't bind you to it. Pika good. He good, man. He good. I mean, if you see a seed grow in a glass of water, you might want to learn some Nen. You might want to learn some Nen. You might be like, yo, I'm really trying to figure out these abilities. I'm trying to see what I can do. Okay, come on. Your boy's struggling right now. He's struggling to make a choice, but you know he's gonna make the right choice. And here it is. Okay, he's pretty clearly not being manipulated. Ladiolus and Mayor have been primed to use Nen. What Kurapika said is true. Now, we know for sure that Kurapika uses specialist ability to induce Nen awakening, but it's probably only one of multiple abilities he has. The information he purposely gives us acts as a deterrence. If he has a different ability on each finger, as seems apparent, then we might as well still know nothing about his ability. Yeah, damn right. Yeah, damn right, sir. You ain't gonna know nothing. I think a few more of you will be able to get to this point today. However, the end goal is still to come, which is mutual deterrence. The main thing is to be seen as a Nen user on first glance. This appearance will give you the corresponding defense as a result. So what he said was true. Yes, all true. Amazing. I can tell that I'm overflowing with vitality, the aura rising like steam. It makes sense that continuous discharge would soon cause exhaustion. Just like holding your breath. Imagine closing off pores and then slowly breathe out. They appear to be in training for all intents and purposes, except for the incongruous massive amount of aura. If that's an act, it's not a feat through manipulation. Seeing a highly skilled soldier with that much aura would necessitate caution and eliminate any physical advantages. Kurapika probably intends to repeat these classes. Is there any plausible excuse to stop them? Kurapika's, the plan that he has is like, you only do that if you're like confident in your own abilities and of those like people around you. And also, they just have more time than the people who are just unlocking Nen, right? Most of these people aren't Gon or Killua or the Fourth Prince or anybody like that. Or, you know what I mean? Or even Zushi. You know what I mean? Zushi is like a prodigy as well. Not on the same level as Gon as Killua, obviously, but still, very much of a prodigy. We are currently connected through Kurapika's ability. The right to use Bulb Fleabane, the ability I am loaded with, has been transferred to you. Call on it to activate, and you will be able to do the same thing as Bill. Whoa. That aura is borrowed, so it's not your ability, but you've been primed. So by learning Ten and Hatsu through breathing exercises, you will be able to perform the water divination by yourself and find out your type confidently. Huh? But what about what you said earlier? It was too complicated to explain, and I wanted to know how far all of you were willing to go. Possible. I don't want there to be any more victims from the succession battle. For that, I want to share these abilities with as many people as I can. It would help if you could tell 10th Prince Kacho and 6th Queen Seiko with a positive spin that we're planning more classes. Sure. Thank you. Kurapika's strategy is undoubtedly the best for the current situation, but I've seen many an honest poor man change dramatically when they strike it rich. This kind of thing is impossible to predict. Power corrupts, more so if it aligns with interest. My ability isn't suitable for combat, and I'm betting neither is Kurapika's. If the tides change and the succession battle is inevitable, we might end up being crushed by the power we gave out. Does he have any cards up his sleeve? That's all for today. Of course Kurapika does. No, I don't even have to ask. It's good enough we held our ground through this unpredictable mess with ad hoc measures. Bill, I wanted to thank you. What for? A supportive ability for an enhancer is rare with men. Most try to increase combat strength. I know it's better for you that not to be known. Oh, that's it? You took the initiative to tell everyone your ability. Even if it was strategy, I couldn't not do it. Are you sure you want to continue? It's possible we won't even make it to our real destination. Maybe. Beyond ordered me on board to travel to the new continent, but I chose room 1014 myself. The prince was a baby, and I figured there wouldn't be any serious combat. Once the battle and the slaughter was underway, I acted tough. But sure, I was conflicted. But I didn't want to escape for pathetic reasons, from a place I chose for equally pathetic reasons. And then Vincent showed up. He pissed me off. I'm a coward who finally prepared myself for the worst after listening to your exchange with the queen. Bill, cowards don't steal themselves. Kurapika. In exchange for 10, I guess it's 40 or 10 Tori. I don't know. It's a weird typo. In exchange for 10, I'm just gonna go with 10. In exchange for 10 going last, I wanted to do the water divination. I'd feel better if one of us used Nen earlier. Your instincts are correct. The abnormal rumbling felt threatening to anyone with Nen. I wouldn't be surprised if various factions start taking steps. But Ashido, you haven't practiced the basics like the students. You will temporarily suffer fatigue stronger than anyone else, to the point where you won't even be able to stand. I should be the one with the ability, but just in case it's all a trap, basic training should be enough to help now that we're going to be here longer anyways. So the 14th prince has the strongest truce with the 3rd prince, but it's for a limited time and not on equal terms. There are plenty of cracks to exploit. The Nen training was authentic. I can feel it. Everyone should have this power. Thank you. Continue negotiating for an alliance. So do you think we should proactively learn Nen? Yes. There's basically no danger of a trap. Presenting a trusting attitude will improve our chances for an alliance. All right. I'll consent to further lectures. This is Tubeppa, right? This prince. The glasses, sort of like scientist guy. You pick who goes. Yes. Okay, so this is another Benjamin, one of Benjamin's guys, thinking to himself. And this is, I'll talk about this after the chapter, but I'm going to get to sort of my point about that. Contrary to the blatant war council, her Nen beast never shows itself. Shouldn't I go to the 9th prince, which is more urgent, instead of wasting time? And that's Hulkenberg he's talking about. Yo, this is dope. Man, I can't. Tagashi just strong arming, yo. I want your ability to definitively slay the 9th prince's Nen beast. Be patient for now. He has a point, but, and this is I guess the one with the predator ability, who killed Sally's Nen beast, and in conjunction Sally. There's no guarantee that 5th Prince Tubeppa's Nen beast is less dangerous than the 9th Prince Hulkenberg's just because it's hidden. The danger is the same no matter where I am. If I don't research the enemy ability myself, my predator won't grow. If I avoid risk, my ability won't live up to its potential. That's not all. Mayor's aura, his nodes are open, primed to the final stages of learning Nen. It's had an astounding improvement from this morning. This Kurapika is seriously aiming for equilibrium through proliferation. Even a Nen novice could pose a threat, depending on the nature of their ability. Having a clear purpose to defend the princes will impact the characteristics of their Nen abilities. Ability to discern, counteract, or outright seize enemy abilities. Abilities like mine that work in opposition are bound to manifest in droves. It will become more and more dangerous while we twiddle our thumbs. We must act sooner rather than later. Bruh, this is Tagashi greatness, all right? Come on now. I'd want Predator to eliminate Kurapika, the root cause of all this, but that would mean discerning all hypothetical five abilities. That's not realistic. The Predator goes on autopilot, making someone with multiple abilities a near impossible target, especially because it has no way to evade a counterattack. In the case of an enhancer or emitter, the person themselves becomes the target. But this means Predator is prone to a counterattack. It's not invincible. And if it doesn't come out perfectly suited to hit the target, it'll surely fail. Come on, son. You already know Predator got that weakness. Okay? This guy's not gonna go around killing like 8 Nen beasts. That's not what's gonna happen in Hunter. Come on. All right. Considering I need 48 hours to recharge after use, these risks are only worth it because if it is perfect, it's devastatingly effective. So I should go after 9th Prince Hulkenberg, not 5th Prince Tubepa. My ability will be put to better use in room 1009. Even with the risks, if 9th Prince Hulkenberg is already making moves, I must find out the enemy ability with no prior knowledge, and I have to do this myself, or the Predator will not grow powerful. Securing safety in the aid of others will not only weaken it, securing safety in the aid of others will only weaken it and ensure or increase the risk of failure. Balancing risk and timing rides on experience. Since it's a life or death decision, everyone must be confident of their own instincts. So much stuff is being like said here, and like there's a lot of sort of like double speak going on, and a lot of sort of like connections to a lot of the stuff that is going on in this chapter earlier. I understand the captain ordered patience considering the overall picture, using his years of experience, but aren't we being too careful after Shikaku's suicide? Isn't it progress that we learn 9th Prince Hulkenberg either has a manipulator by his side or his Nen Beast is a manipulator? Think, Rihan. Why did I tell you to be patient? You're likely mistaken in your judgment of the enemy ability, but then even I am uncertain of the truth. I cannot give you advice since that's the crux of your ability. There are hints. Shikaku was a manipulator. You must get the answer from there. But if he wasn't manipulated, what ability can make him choose death of his own free will? A deal, maybe? Did he offer his life in exchange for a guarantee of the first prince's safety? No way Shikaku knows the act of begging for one's life is what First Prince Benjamin abhors the most. So overt that narcissistic exhibitionist 8th Prince Salasales would never withdraw from a concert just because he wasn't feeling well. If he was really that sick, he would happily broadcast the fact to immerse himself in the myth of the tragic hero. Since neither is the case, 8th Prince Salasales is dead. And then the reshuffling of First Prince Benjamin's shoulders means he was assassinated, and I'm next. I have to find out 8th Prince Salasales' cause of death, and if he was assassinated by Nen. I have to make a list of conceivable abilities and come up with countermeasures. Giving those who awaken to Nen this information with a mission may affect their burgeoning abilities. Hyson, take care of this. Yes. I'd like to see the shift logs of First Prince Benjamin's soldiers, but it might give them an excuse to use national defense to turn the suspicion back onto me. I must be patient. Could I ask what happened in room 1008 via Mother's guard, who was spying on 8th Prince Salasale? At this point, Camilla finding out would be inevitable. Finding out the cause of death and the situation in the room comes as a set. I can talk to Mother myself. It's too risky to contact the Second Queen's soldiers by myself. Mother would never make a decision without talking to Camilla. If I get the okay, I should assume Camilla is in on it. I can't expect Mayor to defend against Nen yet. I need a partner. I need Kurapika. Day 10, 11:30 a.m. A fourth rumbling of aura. The intervals are getting shorter. Hunter x Hunter 388 end. Now, I love that chapter. I just like, and I say this because like I love Hunter x Hunter chapters. Like I'm not like, you know, I'm not gonna say it was 10 out of 10. I'm not ranking these chapters. I'm not doing that. Okay, unless it's One Piece, because I love trolling One Piece lovers. Tell them a chapter was whack. Well, it might not have been. All right, but that's neither here nor there. Okay. This is a good chapter. I'll say this. There was so much dialogue. That page, I saw that page and I started like laughing like on the inside. Like it took a lot like not for me to just like burst out laughing because there's this dude on Arthur who does like a lot of like One Piece stuff. He's been doing like the Viva cards for One Piece recently. And just like kind of like tweeting out about them and doing that. And I guess like he has someone that does like the translation work or he does it himself. But it was like if Togashi wrote One Piece and it was just like this like absurd like page. It was pretty funny. It was pretty funny. You know what I mean? Like, and to me it's like, it's a joke. Like it's not like obviously if Togashi was writing One Piece, it wouldn't be like that. But it was funny because it was like when we saw this page, we were just like, wow, that's a lot of text. Like, bruh. You know what I mean? Like there was like literally half a page with just straight up dialogue. Like it looked like it came out of a like it would like came out of like a light novel or something like that or whatever. You know what I mean? Like it was pretty funny. But the information in this page was totally readable. It made sense. If you've been reading Hunter x Hunter, if you reread Hunter x Hunter, if you've been keeping up with Hunter x Hunter, totally makes sense. This is stuff that you already know. Most of the stuff that's written down here, stuff you already know. This is stuff you already know about Predator. Most of that stuff that's about Predator, you already know that about the ability, how it works, how it depends, how its strength depends upon the amount of information that is known about the ability it's trying to defeat. Right? So you already know that stuff. So most of the stuff you could just kind of be like, okay, I got it. But like then it's all about like who this individual is trying to go after and who he should go after based on sort of some of the things that have been happening, right? Based on what they know and then what information is out there about Tubeppa, right? About the Fifth Prince and about the Ninth Prince and about Hulkenberg, right? And the fact that there's more information out there about Hulkenberg that can lead to that can lead to sort of figuring out certain things about the Nen ability, and whether it would be good to use Predator against it. It's like, you know what? I probably should go after Hulkenberg because it makes the most sense because I know just enough, right? I know just enough about Hulkenberg's ability to say, you know what? I'm gonna go after Hulkenberg. And I think my Predator would be suitable to go against that Nen beast. You know what I mean? Like he knows enough to know that, okay, I think I can do it. But he doesn't know enough to where the beast can be like, you know, to where the Predator can come up with an ability that is suited to thwart Hulkenberg's Nen beast. So dope stuff there, right? Again, this is what Nen battles are all about. I think people like look at Nen battles and they're like, oh well, you know, Fists and Ten and Ren and all this. I'm like, you know what I mean? And like super like manly like Hatsus and stuff like that. It's like, yo, look, not every Nen battle is gonna be like that. Not every Nen user is Uvagin, okay? Not every Nen user is even Hisoka necessarily. You know what I mean? Right, and I say that because Hisoka is like very cerebral. Uvo is like to an extent right cerebral as well, but Hisoka is like on another level of like cerebral. You know what I mean? But even he is like distinctly like physical in there's a certain physicality to how he does battle, right? That's sort of connected to his attraction to strong like opponents and stuff, right? So look, All I'm saying is that text was fine. It didn't bother me. It was funny, like seeing it in the other, in another context, like in a sort of One Piece context. That was like, I thought that was funny. All right. But like, I think what I like about this chapter is that we get a lot of about how Kurapika's thinking about this succession battle, and Kurapika's going for the long game, right, so to speak. He's sort of like, okay, like right now, like, well, maybe not even the long game, but it's kind of like a mixture of both. At once, he's like, all right, I gotta make sure that we like Wobbles stays alive and Oito stays alive. I gotta make sure of that. I gotta make sure that we're in some sort of place where we will be okay somewhat right now at the moment, in the present moment, but also down the line, I need to make sure that I'm sort of equalizing things so that I don't have to face everybody on by myself. I don't have to worry about like all these people sort of coming at me. You know what I mean? Because if he equalizes the sort of playing field in a sense, right? And when he says equalizes, he kind of just means like, you know, making sure that certain people can kind of battle each other, that people can that guards will become sort of emboldened to like, you know, attack other guards and certain things like that within the rules of sort of like the battle, right? And in that way, slowly but surely, the battle will get a bit easier because certain people will, certain groups, right? Certain prince groups will be more emboldened to attack other prince groups as opposed to Kurapika's group, right? So very, very, very sort of smart sort of thinking by Kurapika, right? So I like all that stuff that was sort of going on in the beginning of the chapter, and the fact that the more people that Kurapika unlocks, right, the more this sort of like word of his exploits spread out across like the floor, right? And the more the more princes find out, and they're like, oh, we got to get him on our side, right? You know what I mean? It's like when he says equalizing, he doesn't just mean, oh, everybody can kind of fight everybody else, and everybody will feel more emboldened to fight other people besides me, but that people will want to join me. People want to join me. They're gonna want to work with me. Tubeppa's already like, yo, I need Kurapika. Come on, son. We gotta team up, son. You know what I mean? It's like, this is what I'm talking about. Kurapika is just, he knows what the deal is. He knows what the deal is. He's a smart dude, and I think at once, this is all right. When the Benjamin guard, right, was talking about his predator ability and all this other stuff and everything that was sort of going on, and talking about which prince to attack and talking about Nen and how it works, that was also like, again, when I said double speak, it's also related to like the stuff that's happened earlier with Kurapika and his plans and how he's using Nen and how it's not just, I can punch this other person and knock him dead and then everything's fine. It's like, no, in this situation, if Kurapika just killed a random person, he'd be screwed. Absolutely screwed. Absolutely screwed, right? It takes so much, just like not only wits, right, but like legitimate intelligence to be like a hunter on the caliber of like a Kurapika or even some of the princes, right? Or Hisoka, or Crollo, or well, not 100 because Crollo's not 100, but Umi, Killua, you know what I mean? Morel. To be on that level, like, son, the thought, you gotta be smart. You gotta be I'm not talking about DJ Khaled, but I'm not talking about smart. I'm not talking about that. That, I don't know. No, I'm talking about legitimate intelligence, the ability to plan things. You gotta be on it. Okay. So when the guy was talking about, yo, Nan, it takes all this, you gotta plan, I gotta make sure. It was also like, again, this is a chapter about Nen battles. That's what this is. This is a chapter that's like, bruh, if you do not go into these battles smart, you probably gonna die. You're gonna die. Okay? And it's gonna be quick too. It's gonna be real quick. One little mistake and it's all over. Look at all these people that are just thinking. They're just thinking. Right? Why? Because I'd be smart. If you're not thinking, if you're one of these characters is just like, just nothing going on in your brain, you done. It's a wrap for you. It's a wrap for you. Oh man. You know what I mean? It's just, come on. Let me just check out the chat, see who's here, because this is that chapter, y'all. What's good, Amadou? No, don't know. What? No, really? Stan Lee just passed? What? Stan Lee just passed away? I gotta look at yo. Bruh. Oh, that's, jeez, man. Wow. That's so sad. Oh, man. That's hard. And I don't usually like react when certain people, when like, you know, people die, right? Like when you care about people and when people have like legitimately impacted your life and have really like shaped the kind of person that you are, like when those people pass away, it's like, you know? Um, so just to quickly just say, like, I mean, like I love comics. Like I love comics. Like Spider-Man is like the Incredible Hulk. Like, bruh, you know what I mean? When that happens, you're just like, you know what I mean? And you're so used to this person like sort of being in like your life in a certain way, like right, all the cameos in Marvel films, you know, just all around, just like a super like jovial like individual, you know, and that stuff happens when people like that just pass away. It's just like it really hits you. It hits you, you know. Rest in peace, man. Man. And there was all this stuff that was going on with his like estate and his family, and his sort of like lawyers and his attorneys. Like, it was a lot of like it was a big mess. Like it might still be a big mess. So I think like what's sad is that like obviously that is that it's passed away, but it's like it's that there's all this other stuff going on with his family, with the rights to like, you know, with his will, all these different things. So that's going to be a debacle, I think. And it's probably going to be like it's already been really shameful, but it's going to be even more shameful. Like, bruh, rest in peace, Stan Lee, man. All right, okay. Wow. Yeah. It's just yo, that's a wow. You know, and just such a nice person. That's the thing, right? It's like you can be too nice, and people out there, there's people out there that will take advantage of that. You know, so you always got to be like you always got to be careful. You know, you always got to be careful of certain people. You just do, unfortunately. Um. Okay. Hunter time. You know, let's up the mood a little bit with some Hunter discussion bit, you know, for a bit. All right. This chapter was just dope. Again, this chapter is like the sort of quintessential like Hunter Nen battle chapter. Like if there's any sort of chapter within this series that lets you know that it's like, yo, Nen is a thinking person's game, or Nen is a thinking person's power system, a thinking person's life force, whatever. When you're aware of it, right? You slip up, that's a wrap for you. Okay, I said this, but if you slip up, the more enmeshed you become in the existence of Nen and the types of people that you utilize Nen and that knowingly, right, utilize Nen, the more you need to know about it, and the more you need to know about your abilities, and the more you need to know about the abilities of others. If you don't know enough, it's gonna be hard for you out on these streets. Okay? You do not come to this succession battle not knowing about Nen. Notice what is happening here. All these people are like, bruh, I ain't know nothing about Nen. Now that I know just a little bit about Nen, I need to know way more. Why? Because I can tell how much stronger I've become just by my nodes opening up. What about the people that have been known about Nen? They gonna kill me like that. What about the groups? What about the Prince groups that everybody in there knows? What about Benjamin's group? They almost like pretty much all of them are Nen users, right? Benjamin ain't playing no games. Okay, this is right. It's not just about the text that's just there. It's just like, blah, here's all this text. That's not what this is about. When Tagashi's putting this stuff down, okay, when he's putting this stuff down, it's very revealing to be like, yo, if you aren't thinking, if your brain ain't turning, if the cogs aren't turning, right? If you want one of those characters in the chapter that's like, bruh, I gotta figure this stuff out, right? You probably gonna die, right? Sally, done, right? Why? Because the dude had literally no real defense against someone who knew all about the game. He knew all about the rules. He knew what he needed to do. He went, calculated, did his thing slowly but surely, and then ended that man. And then ended him. Right? And again, the more princes that pass away and the more information that is disseminated, the more and more certain people become want to become stronger, want to know more information. And this works out for Kurapika. He knows the deal. Kurapika knows the deal. He understands what the sort of chain reaction is going to look like, generally, in a general sense, right? Right? Bill sort of says that, yes, obviously you can't predict every little thing that's going to happen once someone learns an end ability and what their abilities are going to be and all that stuff, right? And how to counteract that. But Kurapika can tell, like, yes, this is a way to sort of say, hey, I need to equalize the playing field. I need to make sure that I spread this information to as many people as possible, and that people will want to team up with me in concurrently, right? It's like, come on, son. You know? That Hunter greatness, man. And there are a lot of people that are just like, there's so much, like, and right, and like, I can understand if you are used to reading a certain amount of text within set page limits. I can understand that, right? So when you see something that's like different, you're gonna be like, what? This, whoa. It's gonna be weird, right? Like literally for your eyes, like your eyes will feel like not good. Okay? So it makes sense. It's like if you gave a child just a book full of like words and they're only used to picture books, they'd be like, bro, what's going on? And I'm not saying that people who read manga are kids with picture books. No. I think what I'm saying is like, it's just like the sort of difference in terms of like the amount of text. Oftentimes you get a manga like One Piece, there isn't nearly as much sort of like text in that way, or exposition in that sort of way, in the way that it's done in Hunter x Hunter, right? You wouldn't see that. You wouldn't see that page in One Piece. You wouldn't, right? Because Oda and Togashi are different writers. They're just different writers. They write in different ways. They explain things in different ways. They do that. I understand that, right? But that doesn't mean that it's a bad thing. This isn't a bad thing. You know what I mean? This is how Hunter x Hunter is written, right? This is how Hunter x Hunter is written. That's how it's written. Okay? If you don't want to read the text, if you don't want to read that stuff, and you want to make excuses like manga's only supposed to have this amount of text, manga's only supposed to look like this, that's a limited way of thinking. You know what I mean? That's a limited way of thinking. It's like if you don't want to read the text, that's on you. You don't want to read the text. Why are you complaining about Togashi writing too much? That's his book. He's writing. He's a writer. That's what he does. Why are you complaining about what he's doing? If you don't want to read that stuff, if you don't want to read that much text, don't. Right? People like, oh, manga's only supposed to have certain amount of text, right? If it has too much, then it's not. Like, please stop it. If you want to go read Gon, if you want to go read that manga that has no text within it, or no sort of like words written or whatever, something like that, go read that. That's fine. Okay, it's fine. It's good. It's good for what it does. Right? If that's what you were complaining about, like go somewhere else where you can read where you'll get what you need. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's just like such a narrow-minded like excuse. Manga's a visual medium, not a book. I'm like, reading is like, I'm like, oh, okay. And even that, it's just like, bruh. So what? It's not like there aren't any pictures. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And also just like, I don't know. I feel like, I think they're just people who just don't want to read that much, right? When it comes to the manga. And like, if that's the case, go read something else. If that's your issue, that there's too many words in a book, go read something else. It's fine. It's fine. Okay? Come on, son. You know what I mean? People are reading this stuff. People are reading this stuff and they like it, and that's fine. If you don't like it, go somewhere else. That's fine. If you want to skim. But do not come complaining to people talking about, I can't keep track of this stuff while I'm reading. I'm like, okay, that's why rereading is essential. That's why I'm always saying rereading is essential. All right. We're not taking every single little thing in. Anytime you read something, you're not taking 100% of that in, unless you have like a photographic memory or some sort of like addictive memory. I can't pronounce it, but like that right sort of memory where you can like take in things, comprehend it fully, and keep that within like your long-term memory store, right? Like, that's fine. That's what you got. Cool beans. But don't be coming out here with those excuses, talking about, it's too much, man. Tagashi, write less. Write fewer words. What? You know what I mean? That's like ridiculous. There's a difference if you're talking about the way that a certain, like, maybe like the way the plot is sort of constructed and like there's something odd about it, or a character doing something that just seems like utterly like ridiculous or whatever. Like if Prince Wobble was like, you know what, I'm gonna go out into the next room and kill a prince. That'd be absurd. That would be like an absurd like occurrence within this text, right? That's different, right? I can understand that. Yes, exactly, Family Guy, right? Like that ability to like not only remember things but like comprehend them, and like it's a certain thing that like few people have, but if they have it, they own it. Okay. I think it's eidectic memory or eidictic. I can't pronounce it. I want to say it's eidectic memory or edictic memory. I don't know. I'll look it up. But come on, But again, this chapter. This is the type of chapter that like it's not even like, because I don't want to say like, oh, it exposes, you know, people that aren't about the Hunter x Hunter life. Like no. I think if you like Hunter x Hunter, you like Hunter x Hunter. Period. Right. And if you don't like Hunter x Hunter, then you don't like Hunter x Hunter. That's fine. Okay. But what I think, again, what it sort of does is like there are people who understand like rereading is essential. I think that's true of any like text that you read. Any text that you read, you should reread it at some point. All right, whether it's poetry, short stories, novels, whatever, flash fiction, whatever, novellas, you should reread it. Okay, but come on, people got to reread. They got to take the time to do that. They also need to read slowly. That's another big thing for me. Read slowly. Read slowly. Because people, I think, read too fast and they miss things that they probably shouldn't miss, and that's probably just because you're reading too fast. One thing that I had to learn after I got into maybe I want to say like maybe like my junior year of like college, like I was majoring in English and all that, and it was like learning to read slowly, learning to pick up certain things, learning to zero in on particular things while I was reading, because I was reading too fast. I was just like. I was like, oh, I'm going to finish this book, then I'm going to get to the next book, then I'm going to get to the next book. I was reading way, way, way too fast. I had to slow it down, process the information that I got, see if I can get it, And if I could, great. If I couldn't, I come back to it. People don't want to do that sort of work with the manga that they're reading. You know, I no, because I don't think there are like true Hunter x Hunter fans and like fake Hunter x Hunter fans. I don't believe in that. Like, I believe that like there are fans who read too fast and don't reread, and then there are fans who read slowly and then don't reread, and then there are fans who read slowly and reread. And I think that's what that is. And those different types of people will come up with different they'll take in different amounts of information. You just will. Not to say that all of it will be the same, right? There'll be varying levels. There'll be variations, obviously, right? But rereading is essential. Taking the time to read stuff is essential. Okay, but this chapter was dope. Okay, Kurapika playing Go. Kurapika's playing Go. He's playing like an aggressive Go style. You know what I mean? He's just like taking up territory. Ha 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 ha. That's what he's doing. He's just going in. He's going in. Okay, because he understands like, all right, I got to do this thing right now. Not only to preserve like the stuff that I have at the moment, but for the future. For the future game, to see where it'll go, how it will end up, what the board will look like. All right, come on. So it's kind of one of those, yeah, and I think that's true too. I think like if you come from the anime and then you go into the manga, it's just a different experience. It really is. It really is, I think. So if you're coming from the anime, like you're expecting certain things, you're expecting certain types of movement, this, right, music, certain feel, certain vibe, certain aesthetic. For some people, when they don't get that, they're like, "Come on, man, this isn't Hunter x Hunter." I'm like, "Yo, but this is Hunter x Hunter. Like, this is what the anime took from. This is what it's based off of. What are you talking about, right?" So, and then there are people that are like, "Yo, this is dope," and they're fine with it, and they're good. So I think this chapter is very like, this is a quintessential Nen battle chapter. This is a quintessential, this is the situation. This is the type of person that you have. These are the type of people that you have to be on this ship if you are going to stay alive. Right? If you know what Nen is, and you know what it is, and you know that this is a succession war, you better start thinking. You better start making them connections. You better start talking to people. Do some of that work. Put in the work. If you don't put in the work, you dead. You don't put in the work, you cacho. You don't put in the work, you Mariam. You don't put in the work, you salad. It's over. It's a wrap for you. Okay, you Chitu, right? You mentioned that, right? Park Jimin, right? You Chitu. You will end up being Chitu. Okay. That's what's going to happen to you, right? When you don't pay attention. If you don't pay attention, this is that sort of meta kind of like stuff. This is that meta stuff. You're done. It's a wrap for you if you don't. Okay? If you're a reader of Hunter x Hunter at this stage and you're not rereading and you're not slowly reading and taking certain bits in and thinking about those bits, you're going to end up like Chitu. You will. You're going to end up like Chitu. That's what's going to happen. I don't want to end up like Chitu. I don't want to end up like Chitu. He dead. Chitu dead. Don't be Chitu. Okay? All right. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a, you know what I mean? If I'm going to have a Hunter x Hunter discussion I think this weekend. I think on Saturday, I got to get to the Promised Neverland. This is a really long video. This is like almost an hour. Good, my goodness. All right. I'm going to get to the Promised Neverland because I have to. This is a chapter that's just very much like if you're sort of keeping up, if you're rereading, if you are aware of certain things, if you're aware of the Predator ability, if you're aware of the sort of events that have gone on, then this stuff is like, you get it. You know what's going on. You understand why what Kurapika is doing is essential. You understand why this why what the Benjamin Guard with the Predator ability is thinking so hard, because it's like of the utmost importance. It's imperative that he thinks this hard. If he doesn't, it's a wrap. Okay, so thank y'all for coming through. I'm definitely gonna have a Hunter discussion probably on Saturday. I'm gonna talk to some people. I'm gonna see if Brago wants to have one this weekend. I don't know what he's doing, but I'm gonna find out if he does, if he's down for that. And I'm gonna see how many other people are gonna be down for that. All right. Hopefully I get it done on Saturday. That'd be great. Okay. And I gotta get out of here. This chapter was great. Again, quintessential Hunter chapter, right? Post Nen. Okay. You gotta know. You gotta be smart. All right. Now I'm gonna talk to Brago. I'm gonna talk to Brago because because Brago's busy. Like Brago, he's got a life. So I understand that, like, certain things, like he might be able to do certain things, and he's also like, he does it, like most of his content is One Piece, and he does a lot of work on that. So it's hard to do that and then kind of switch to talking about other manga when you primarily talk about One Piece and produce One Piece content, and he produces one, you know what I mean, and he puts in the work for that. So it's tough. It's tough to find the time and to do all that work. So let me get out of here, y'all. All right, I gotta read The Promised Neverland. I've been hearing some things about that. Okay, I'm probably not gonna be happy after reading that chapter, but it's A Promised Neverland, so it is what it is. All right. Thank y'all for coming through. This is my live reaction / initial thoughts to Hunter x Hunter, chapter 388. I'm looking forward to watching some of those other reviews and live reactions to Hunter x Hunter, chapter 388. Those are always fun to watch. And yeah, I'm gonna maybe contact some other Hunter x Hunter, YouTubers. Maybe we'll have a whole thing. You know what I mean? Where I'll just have them on my channel, and we'll discuss Hunter x Hunter. Maybe a Brago, maybe I'll contact some other people, that are in the community, and we'll see. All right. So I'm a Black Manga Critic, y'all. Thank y'all for coming through. All right, and I'm out ya.